Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Uncle Matt's Cookery Lessons. Going to be making wild garlic gnocchi. Hello, in this video I'm going to be making gnocchi, but I'm going to be using this wonderful wild garlic that I foraged for yesterday by myself, and it's going to be so delicious. You're going to love this video. Alright, first things first, we're going to get the potatoes cooking. So that's cold water with salt in it. That's my King Edward potatoes, but a Maris Piper or russet will be good. Something floury with a lid on it, and cook them on a fairly low heat. You know, take the time. You don't want them to burst while they're cooking. And while they're cooking, this is me adding some ingredients that I thought would go nicely with this, but this is by no means a recipe. This is just a technique, really. So that's a few bits and pieces. That's some preserved lemon. I've still got preserved lemon. That's lasted me 2 years. I don't use it enough, probably. Anyway, that is now my food processor and the wild garlic going in, and I'm giving it a good blitz. You can violently shake it if you need to, like I'm doing there. It doesn't need to be a puree, but just try to get it all small and blitzed up into a bowl, and I'll show you. Look, blitzed. That's how I like it. Those potatoes are now cooked, and I'll leave them alone for a little while to steam and cool down. It will remove a lot of the excess water, because that's important for making gnocchi. We want the potatoes to be nice and dry. There are other forms of gnocchi in Italy where it comes from. It goes back to the Roman times. There's, you see me ricing those. Rices are good for gnocchi, by the way. And, you know, sometimes they just use semolina and, say this, in this case, this garlic or spinach, and mix that together, you know, eggs. It's a dumpling, effectively. But I like the potato one. So into the potato went the blitzed up wild garlic, 1 egg, strong flour, but you could use an all-purpose flour. I seasoned it as well, but I forgot to film that bit, sorry. So don't forget to add salt and pepper, and have a little taste of it. You can always boil off one little bit if you want to make sure it's seasoned nicely. You don't want to eat the raw bit. But then again, just work that away. I've got a damp hand there. I've got a bowl of water using my bench scraper. Now, it's nice and smooth. And now I'm going to start shaping it. And this is where I use copious amounts of semolina. I do recommend you get some semolina, but if you can't get it or you don't want it, flour would work well as here as well. But be generous with it, okay? Because it's a slightly moist, damp mixture. Dumpling mixture. I think that's quite large, that piece there, so I'm breaking it down into 4 smaller pieces that I can now roll out into a rope, like so. And again, just using plenty of semolina. Once you've got all your ropes sort of done, leave them to the side, and then we're going to start cutting them and shaping them. So here's cutting. I'm using my bench scraper. You use a knife. I suppose you could just tear it off with your fingers if you like. Just try to keep them even, as Chef John would say. Pick a size and stick to it. I've got a tray to the side there with semolina on it as well, like so, and just scattering them in there. And you could just boil them straight away, but I like to shape mine on my gnocchi board because I bought a gnocchi board and I like to use it. And that's me using it. The idea there, I'm just creating some ridges, but you could just leave them as they were, the little square little pillow shapes. You could do it like this with a fork. I haven't done that very well, but you see what I'm doing there really is just creating some either holes in there, divots or lines. It gives the sauce, when you cook it, somewhere to hang out. So the cooking, salted boiling water, rapid boil, a minimum I'd say of 5 minutes. Make sure they're floating. You can always taste them, and if it tastes nice, it's ready. It's a bit like pasta, isn't it? But then I like to fry mine up because I like that little bit of texture. So here I am. This is, as I say, it's not a recipe. This is just adding some of those ingredients that I had prepared into the pan. There goes the tomatoes and the shallot. This is some walnuts. That is the preserved or confit lemon. And I thought, well, my ingredients aren't quite there yet. I'll put a knob of butter in to make them a bit better. But those some of those vegetables need a little bit more cooking, so I'm going to go in with some liquid, open the fridge, bottle of cider in there. Okay, we'll have a glass of cider. Why not? Stick a lid on it and let that steam from the cider. Just finish cooking those vegetables for a few minutes. Final bit of seasoning at the end, and that is the wild garlic pesto. So if you've been watching any of my shorter videos I've been doing lately, or over on TikTok, I made wild garlic pesto, because this is the wild garlic that I foraged a little while ago. put it into a bowl, loads of Parmesan cheese, and I'm going to hand you back over to me for the tasting. Okay, so wild garlic gnocchi. So the star of the show is the wild garlic. It's wonderful. How's these lovely fluffy little pillows called gnocchi? They're great. They're a nice alternative to pasta sometimes. I think that's really, really nice. Everything works together. And the wild garlic has mellowed massively. It's really, really soft and gentle in the background, but it's absolutely delicious. So, thank you very much for watching. See you next video. Come on soon. Bye.